Thank you for joining Simply Cooking with Shawn. If you're new here and you love food-related content, you're in the right place. So like, share, and subscribe. And when you do, click that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Today I will be preparing cornbread dressing. Before I give an overview of all the ingredients that I am using, I do want to go ahead and get one of the main ingredients prepared. After this is all done and ready, I'll come back and give a full overview of all of the ingredients that I will be using. So what I have here is a package of turkey necks. In this bag are pieces that came out of the turkey. I'm going to get everything washed and put into my pot here that I'm going to then season and put into the Instant Pot to cook. So we have some turkey neck pieces, and then we have here the liver, and then the turkey gizzard. Now that I've got these all washed, I am going to season them. And to do that, I'm going to use garlic powder. I'm going to use onion powder, black pepper, and I'm only going to use just a little bit of this seasoning salt because I'm going to put chicken broth in here. So just a little bit. So to this, I am going to add some chicken stock. This is a 48-ounce container, and I'm not going to put the whole thing in here. I'm only going to use probably about just a little under a half of the box. Okay, I'll put this into the Instant Pot now. I place the lid on it. Make sure it's on seal. I'll let this go for 45 minutes. Let the pressure come off of it, and then we'll get this all together. The turkey necks and other parts are done. This is what it looks like after I removed it from the Instant Pot. As you can see, this is very tender, and that is what I want. So I am going to take these parts out of the broth so that I can get them cooled down quickly. Then we'll get into the other ingredients and get this all mixed together. I have cornbread that I made a day earlier. I've got some onions, sweet pepper, celery, and green pepper. I have 2 sticks of butter. I have chicken broth, garlic powder, onion powder, sage. In this bowl are juices that were left over from a baked chicken recipe that I prepared earlier. And in this pot is the broth that I cooked the turkey necks and turkey parts in. The first thing that I'm going to do is to get the vegetables sauteed in the 2 sticks of butter inside of a large skillet. I'll cut them into chunks so that they melt a little bit quicker. I am going to go ahead and add the vegetables in. And I'm going to let that stay on a medium heat and let that saute while I get the rest of the ingredients together. The next thing that I'm going to do is to get my cornbread crumbled into the bowl here. This is homemade cornbread, and I have a cornbread recipe, and I will leave a link to that video in the description box.
This ain't no jiffy, y'all.
That's my sister in the background. Many of you subscribers may know her. She is my little sissy. She has a YouTube channel as well, At Home with Tea. And a lot of you have probably come over from her channel to join me here. And so I appreciate you coming over to check me out.
Hey, y'all. I'm on camera duty today.
Yes, she's helping me out, which I so appreciate.
You're welcome.
Actually, guys, this cornbread is what got me started on YouTube. For those that came over from my sister's channel, you probably saw the cornbread competition
That she beat me in.
She made a Jiffy cornbread, which Jiffy is okay.
It was doctored up.
Yep, she doctored it up a little bit. But I made a homemade cornbread. And so we did a blind taste test with our husbands. We didn't blindfold them, but they didn't know who made which cornbread. So we just set the two pieces before them and they sampled them. They seem to be a little conflicted, so I think she did pretty good, y'all, with her Jiffy. But of course, you know, the homemade cornbread did win.
It did. It did.
And so a lot of you subscribers of my sister's channel wanted to get the recipe. And so as she stated in that video, the recipe is in my head. I don't always make it the same way every time. I tweak it here and there. But that cornbread cook-off was one of the reasons why I started. I have the cornbread all crumbled up. And so what I'm going to do now is just to start to pull the pieces of meat away from the bones here. Veggies are coming along pretty good. We're going to let that finish up. Okay, I've got all the meat all off of the bones. And we have our veggies that have really caramelized very nicely. So we're just going to go ahead and pour that in. Next, I'm going to go in with some black pepper, some garlic powder, a little onion powder, and I have my sage here. To me, this makes the dressing taste really good. Next, I'm going to go in with some broth. I'm just going to pour that in. That's definitely not enough liquid for me to start stirring. So I'm going to go in with the broth from the turkey pieces that I did in the Instant Pot. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. Now I'm going to take my spoon and just start mixing. And you want to get this nice and wet so that your dressing is not dry. You don't want it to be soupy, but you don't want it to be dry either. Make sure you get it all incorporated really, really well. And when it comes to your liquids, you want to gauge it. This is 2 cornbreads. So when you look at my cornbread recipe, I doubled that recipe for this. So this is actually 2 cornbreads. So the more cornbread you have, the more liquid you want to use. You want to start out little and then you can always add. But once you have it in there, you can't take it out. So this is pretty well mixed, but I am going to go in with some more of this chicken broth. Now this is what's left over from the turkey parts. There's about a little over half of the container left in here. I'm not going to add a whole lot, probably about a cup. And I'm going to stir that in. At this point, so we're going to go in and taste this and see where we are. I'm going to let T give it a taste, see what she thinks.
I think it's good.
She says she thinks it's good. So I'm going to give it a try, see what I think.
Because she never believes me.
Y'all, I think T was right. I think I got this. I don't need to add anything more to it. It is all ready to get panned up. So I've got 2 pans here that I've sprayed with cooking spray. I'm just going to pour it into the pan. And I'm going to get this into the oven. I'm going to bake this at 400 degrees for about 40 minutes. All right, it's been about 40 minutes. So we're going to take the dressing out. Check on it, and it looks pretty good. It's firmed up nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out.
And here we have a close-up of the finished product. This is an easy recipe to follow. So as the Thanksgiving holiday is on the horizon, if you are looking for a cornbread dressing recipe. I encourage you to give this a try. I will leave a list of ingredients in the description box below, as well as the link to my cornbread recipe video. That concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Thanksgiving and be blessed.